Guys, I seriously don't think anybody is ready for what could be coming next with Dante. And the wild part, it may not even start as a crime story. It may start as a medical nightmare that suddenly turns into a criminal investigation. If you ask me, this whole thing has the potential to explode in a way nobody inside Port Charles sees coming until it's already too late. Right now, everything around Dante feels messy, heavy, and honestly dangerous. He's carrying pressure from every direction possible. Rocco's situation alone already looks like it's crushing him from the inside out. Dante knows the truth about Cullum. He knows Rocco was the one who pulled that trigger. And ever since that revelation, it feels like Dante has been spiraling quietly while trying to act like he still has control, but maybe he never really had control at all. Because if you guys have been paying attention lately, Dante keeps reaching for those Alka-Seltzer tablets over and over again. At first glance, it just seems like stress, maybe stomach pain, maybe acid reflux. Maybe he thinks it's nothing serious. Honestly, that's what makes this storyline feel even darker to me. Dante may truly believe he's dealing with some digestive issue while his body is actually warning him about something way worse. And what if those symptoms are not stomach related at all? What if Dante is heading straight toward a heart condition nobody expected? That would completely change everything. The timing also feels suspiciously perfect after what happened with Brennan. We just watched Brennan collapse after that intense interaction with Nina, and immediately people started throwing around theories about poisoning, injections, hidden attacks, and possible manipulation. Especially after Nina allegedly stuck that syringe into Brennan. Now, suddenly, there's this atmosphere in Port Charles where nobody trusts what they're seeing anymore. And that's why Dante collapsing could become an absolute disaster for Lulu. Because imagine this scenario for a second. Dante and Lulu are already on edge. Their relationship has been strained because of the Rocco situation, and neither one of them seems fully honest with the other anymore. Dante is furious that Lulu kept secrets. Lulu probably thinks Dante is making impossible decisions, and somewhere in the middle of all that chaos sits one terrifying reality. Neither parent wants to destroy Rocco's future. Dante doesn't want his son behind bars, but he also probably doesn't want Rocco running from the law either. That's the kind of pressure that destroys people emotionally. And maybe physically too. I could honestly see Dante reaching a breaking point during one brutal argument with Lulu. Not just yelling, not just blaming each other. I'm talking about the kind of fight where years of resentment suddenly spill out at once. The kind where both people say things they can't take back. And Lulu may push Dante harder than she realizes, not intentionally, but emotionally, absolutely. Because Lulu might start demanding answers Dante simply cannot give her. Maybe she pressures him about protecting Rocco. Maybe she accuses him of thinking like a cop instead of a father. Maybe Dante finally snaps under all that weight. Then suddenly, he clutches his chest. And everything changes. No warning. No dramatic setup. Just Dante collapsing right in front of Lulu. Honestly, that scene alone could become one of the darkest moments we've seen in a long time. Especially because Lulu would probably panic instantly. She would call emergency services immediately. She'd be terrified, crying, trying to explain what happened while doctors rushed Dante away. But here's where this story could get really ugly. The hospital may not find visible injuries, no bruises, no stab wound, no gunshot, nothing external. And after everything that just happened with Brennan, police and medical staff might start asking dangerous questions. Questions Lulu never expected to hear. What caused Dante to collapse? Was he poisoned? Did someone inject something into him? Could this have been intentional? Guys, can you imagine how fast suspicion would land on Lulu? Especially if witnesses know Dante and Lulu had a huge argument right before the collapse. That alone would look terrible. And if Lulu appeared emotional or inconsistent while talking to detectives, the situation could spiral out of control fast. Honestly, I can already picture certain officers connecting dots that maybe shouldn't even be connected. Brennan's case may have created paranoia across the department. So now, instead of assuming Dante suffered a natural medical emergency, investigators could start treating it like attempted murder. And Lulu becomes the easiest target. What scares me most is that Lulu may not even know how to defend herself properly. If she's emotional enough, she could accidentally make herself sound guilty without realizing it. We've seen situations like that before in soap storylines. A person panics, says the wrong thing, changes details while crying, and suddenly detectives think they're hiding something. Meanwhile, Dante could remain unconscious the entire time. That's the nightmare scenario. Because if Dante cannot wake up and explain what really happened, then Lulu may have nobody able to clear her name. She could end up sitting in interrogation rooms while the entire town whispers about her possibly attacking Dante. And let's be real here. Port Charles loves a scandal. Some people may immediately believe Lulu is innocent, but others? Not so much. Especially if Valentine somehow gets dragged into this too. I keep thinking about Nina's situation with Brennan because it may parallel this story in a huge way. Nina could either face exposure herself or possibly shift blame toward Valentine to save her own skin. If Valentine becomes tied to one suspicious medical collapse, then police may start looking at every sudden health crisis differently. Which means Dante's collapse may not look accidental at all to investigators. And that opens the door for even more insane possibilities. What if toxicology reports become delayed? What if hospital staff can't immediately determine whether Dante suffered a heart attack naturally? What if somebody tampers with evidence? Or even crazier, what if Dante actually does have an undiagnosed heart condition, but someone uses the situation to frame Lulu anyway? That would be devastating. Because Lulu could become trapped inside a case built entirely on assumptions. And if you ask me, the emotional fallout could be massive for everybody involved. Rocco especially. Imagine what that kid would go through knowing his father is unconscious while his mother is treated like a criminal. That kind of guilt could completely destroy him emotionally. Which honestly makes me wonder whether Rocco eventually cracks under pressure and confesses everything about Cullum just to stop the nightmare from getting worse. Because right now, it feels like all these storylines are starting to collide together. Dante's declining health, Rocco's secret, Lulu's panic, the police paranoia after Brennan, Nina and Valentine's shadow hanging over everything. It all feels connected somehow, even if nobody fully realizes it yet. And the saddest part may be that Dante never even understood how serious his own condition was. That detail really sticks with me. A man thinking he just has stomach pain while his heart slowly gives out under stress? That feels tragically believable, especially for somebody carrying emotional weight every single day. So now, the big question becomes this. Will Dante wake up in time to save Lulu before her entire life collapses? Or could the truth stay buried long enough for someone else to manipulate the situation beyond repair? Because right now, it honestly feels like one heartbeat could change everything forever.